Okay, so we got a little girl here. And of course, like I said, I wanted to make this, bring her out a little bit and make the background a little lighter, back kind of grayscale. So to do that, first thing I'm going to do is select out of this lasso tool and go to the move tool. Okay. And I want to go up here to select. I'm not going to use any quick keys or anything like that. I'm going to go up to the actual menu palette here. I want to go up to select, and I'm going down to inverse. Okay. And what that's going to do is select everything that's not selected on this outside here and not the little girl. Okay. So there I want to go to image adjustments, hue and saturation, image adjustment, hue and saturation. And I am going to take that color out there. So where it's saturated, if I wanted to boost it up, I'll go this way. But I want it kind of be dull and grayscale. So I'm going to go down this way. So that's about how I want it there. That's fine. So it's only affecting the background area there, okay? So we got a -75. That's good with that. If you're doing exactly like I am, you can put these numbers in that I have here. And I'm going to hit OK. The next thing I'm going to do is go up to Filter, Blur, Gaussian Blur. Filter, Blur, Gaussian Blur. Click here. And that's a little too much. I still want you to be able to see the mom in the background there. So I'm going to take that down a little bit. I'm just going to blur it about, that's okay. So 6 is fine, but you don't want it blurred out like that because it doesn't make any sense there. So I'm going to take about 6. 6 is going to be okay for me here. And then I'm going to hit OK. Okay, so now I got what I need there. Now, I still have that selection active there. I don't need it active anymore. So I'm going to deselect by going up to Select, Deselect, and getting off of that. So now you have your picture, your image there with the little girl in the background, in the foreground, the mother in the background. And just so you can check to see the difference of that, I'm going to turn on this layer 0 here so you can see the difference in the two pictures. Okay, and that's the original one. That's what I'm doing here. Okay. So now I want to add a logo here in order to make it into the postcard that we have. So I'm going to go to File, Place Embedded. Right here on my desktop, this AT&T logo, and I'm going to hit Place. Okay. When you place these things, it come up, ask you about opening a smart object. That's what you want to do. And you're going to hit OK. And we're basically placing this entire thing into the Photoshop document here. Now, I'm just going to use the corner brackets here, hold down my Shift key, and just make sure I shrink that to where I want it to be shrunk. So about like that. I'm being mindful of my margins because I know that if this is going to be printed to the edge, I want to make sure it's not, all the way off the edge there. So this is about where I want. Now, it bothers me that this has black text here. I need to change that. If I go to my layer palette and double click on there, I can try my layer styles and then I can put a color overlay, right? No, it changes everything. See what's happening here? That's not what you want. So that's why I wanted to keep it as a smart object. In the smart object area, right down here at the bottom, I'm going in the layers palette, I'm sorry. Right here in the layers palette, you have your little AT&T logo and you got a little piece of paper here. That means that's a smart object. If you double click on that, it's going to open the file in the native application, which will be Illustrator. Okay, so now I have my application open here. I'm going to take my direct selection tool because the only thing I'm concerned about is this AT&T, and I'm just going to draw around there. Okay, so now you see it selected the AT&T. You see up here the color is black. Okay, so I can just go up here and just go to white. Okay, that's it. Hit OK. Click off of that, right? I'm going to go to File and Save, not Save As, File and Save. Okay. And then I'm going to close this up. Now, the one thing I love about smart objects is that once you do a feature and you save, it's going to automatically update in your file. So you see here, I'm still in Illustrator. You see up here, I'm still in Illustrator. So I'm going to click here and go back to Photoshop. You see it's updated my file. So the only thing left is to put our little catchphrase or whatever here for the little girl. So here on my desktop, not in my desktop, let's see, I have text edit open here, and I am going to get my type. Okay, so I have my type here. You see my type with the fewest drop calls on America's largest network. Your BFFGO will have to wait. So I'm going to select that. Now I am going to use a quick key for this, Command C to copy. Then I'm going to go here back to Photoshop. I'm going to hit the text tool. And then I'm going to click here. So you see it starts some text for me. And while that is selected, I'm going to hit Edit, Paste. Okay. I would have normally did the Command V, but I said I wasn't going to use quick keys here. So there's my text there. I did Edit and Paste. Now you see, of course, that's too long. I'm going to double click on the T up here so I can get my options here and bring these down a little bit. Number 15, let's see. Let's see if that's going to get us what we need. And it's a little bit too close to the edge for me there. I said I want to always be mindful of my margins. So 14 is going to do it for me. Okay. So we got our text there, and I put our text here. And I want the BFFGL to be a little larger than this part here. So I'm going to go back to my text edit. Here's my option there. Command C. Go here. Select my text tool here. Put it there. All right. And then edit, paste. Okay. Now, of course, like I said, I want that to be a little larger. So make sure I select on that. And I'm just scrubbing my text up here at the top just to make that text a little larger. Okay. Alrighty. So now add a little drop shadow and then we'll be done. So your BFFGL, we're going to click over in this area, the white space area there. We're going to go to drop shadow. We're going to make sure we click on the word and not the box. Reason why we do that is we want to make sure we have our options available to change. So I'm happy with that simple drop shadow there. I'm going to hit OK. And I'm going to do the same thing with the fewest drop calls. Hitting that white space. Make sure I select on the name. Okay, that's a little bit too much, so I want to definitely take that down a little bit. That's about what I want. Want to hit OK. So we have that. That looks good. And then what we want to do is save. File, save. So there you've completed a complex selection, inverse, and you added text to make your postcard. So let me know if you have any questions.